Hello and welcome to Taking You to School with Dr. Tom Prichard. I am your host, JP John Posman, the two-man power trip. Of course, joining me is the former WWE World Tag Team Champion, one of the greatest trainers ever in the history of the business, the Doctor of Desire himself, Dr. Tom Prichard. How you doing today, sir?
John, I'm doing great, man. It's been an exciting week so far, and it's only Wednesday, so I'm doing really good.
Nice, love it. What's going on in the world of the JPWA?
We're getting ready for a graduation this Saturday, and everybody's looking forward to it, so we're excited about that too.
What does the graduation entail?
Graduate, give you a diploma, say congratulations, then you get a wrestling match. That's what you do.
Do you wrestle that same night?
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, should I book it for 5 years from now, or when should I book it?
Well, I was just curious if it was right then and there because that would be great. You get your diploma, then you get right in the ring, and you kind of prove yourself, show your stuff.
That's what we do.
I love it. Great
Yeah.
idea. Glad I thought of
Mm-hmm.
it. Great idea.
Glad you thought of it too,
Mike D. Hello, Mike.
Mike.
You know he's got to ask about the Hall of Fame. You know that it's nails or Pat Tatanka Hall of Fame material. What are your thoughts, please?
Nails or Pat Tanaka? I don't know about Nails. I don't know about Pat either, but Pat was a hell of a worker. I know that. I don't know.
I was just
Toss
talking to
up.
somebody about nails and their little backstage interaction with Vince, and
Hmm.
that'll probably make sure that he never gets back in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't think he'd. I don't think he'd. Even if Vince is gone, I don't think they'd call him back.
Did you see that he was like back doing like autograph signings and stuff? Did you see that about Nails?
I did not.
Yeah, he was at I think it was WrestleCon and then another one of those WrestleCon signings. But Nails is back. Weird, like out of nowhere. He didn't do anything for many years, and now all of a sudden he's back.
Well, maybe he has something to talk about.
Maybe,
You know,
maybe he wants to make some
maybe
money on
maybe
that.
he's ready to talk. Yeah,
Maybe make some money on that autograph scene, the convention
yeah,
scene. Take some pictures.
sure.
The modern day cowboy himself, Mitch Miller. Mitch, what's going
Double
on?
M.
Yes. So, Dr. Tom, you did not see Who Killed WCW Part 2 and 3, correct? You did not see that.
That's correct. I did not see it.
So, basically thinking maybe it was Russo, maybe it was the Arquette winning the title, maybe it's Russo winning the title. A lot of blame on Russo in this third episode. That's for sure.
Well, I think when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall went over originally, things were uh, things were popping, things were hot, and then Hogan joined the end or started the NWO. Um, so nothing stays hot forever. So I think it was just ready for it to wind down. But I think with Russo being there, it probably didn't help.
A lot of crazy stuff. Goldberg absolutely hated it. Hates Russo. He's on that documentary. Yeah, kind of definitely all went downhill. Not good during that
Well, they
era.
had the Judy Bagwell on a pole match, and
Yep.
or on a was it a pole or was it a crane?
Forklift.
Forklift.
Forklift, yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't find a pole. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, a lot of that stuff, looking back on it, it's hindsight being 2020. It probably sure as hell didn't help prolong life with WCW.
No, definitely did not help at all. ATF. Do you think Hands of Stone Ronnie Garvin should have taken Mike Tyson's place in fighting Jake Paul next month? Or would that just have been certain death for Paul?
I believe it would have been certain death for Paul, but Ronnie would definitely, if they called him up, Ronnie would take his spot in a heartbeat. But I think it might just be certain death for Jake.
I guess it's rescheduled for November on Netflix, but he is Jake, meaning he is fighting Mike Perry on July
Yeah,
20th instead.
UFC guy, right?
Yep, he was a bare knuckle fighter. Or actually, he's an undefeated bare knuckle fighter. He's pretty good at that. But let's see how he does in the old boxing ring against Jake Paul. Very interesting. But I would have loved to seen Ronnie Garvin versus Jake Paul. That would have been quite a matchup
Well,
for
I
sure.
think Ronnie definitely would have taken care of Jake Paul.
Hello, Ibsen.
Ibsen.
Hello to Jason. Good week to you as well. Modern day Cowboy Mitch is saying the episodes have been good so far. Yes.
Talking about WCW. Yeah.
Yep. I
Cool.
like him. Doing a good
Cool.
job. I know people were complaining, oh, how much more can you talk about? That's WCW, but this is interesting stuff because you got Brad Siegel on there, you got Dick Cheatham, they're talking about Bill Bush, talking about a lot of the guys behind the scenes that they never really talked about. Everyone always just blamed creative and not really talking about the behind the scenes guys.
Well, the winner of the war gets to write history, right?
Yep.
So I don't think they're going to paint those guys in a very good light anyway.
It's true. Murphy, good evening, lads. Dr. Tom, did you take the day off and have a nice holiday?
No, Murphy, I had to work today. I'm sorry. But I should have. Talking about Juneteenth. Yeah.
Yeah, Juneteenth. Yep. Mitch is saying, too bad they couldn't get Ted Turner. They did get Ted Turner Jr. on, but they couldn't get Ted Sr.
Oh, so Ted wouldn't even do it, huh? Did they try?
Yes, he supposedly has like early onset dementia. He doesn't want to do anything publicly as far as interviews and stuff anymore. I think he's well into his 80s, so yeah, he doesn't want to do anything anymore.
Yeah, well, I can see. I don't blame him.
You got Teddy Jr. though. You got his son on there.
Well, hope he's doing pretty good on there.
King of Kingsport, Tom is undefeated in a boxing ring, says Bo James. Is that true?
That's true. Any boxing ring I've been in, I've been undefeated.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Would you be able to beat Bruce in the old boxing ring? Would that be
Pope shit in the woods? It's a Bear Catholic.
nice? All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Dr. Tom, did you ever get in touch with Bob Holly? You said you were going to give him a call. Did you ever get in touch with Bob?
I have not. I don't even know where Bob lives these days. I wonder if he's still Mobile.
No, he lives in somewhere in the Iowa area. The last time I talked to him,
Iowa. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Well, No, I haven't talked to Bob in a while.
Your brother, this is from Ibsen, your brother did a Q&A on Father's Day and said he saw the end of the territories the year of the first WrestleMania. What say you?
Well, I think the end of the territories were certainly coming. And yeah, I guess the first WrestleMania pretty much solidified it. So it wasn't going to be like it used to anymore. You know, you had Portland and you had New York, Chicago, Texas and things like that. It was just going to be the global thing by that time. So yeah, I would agree with that.
And Bruce went there in 1987, so he tried to wait it out a little bit and then headed over there.
Yeah, been there for a while.
Yeah, for sure. ATF, do you think Hulk Hogan still has creative control over Eric Bischoff's thoughts and words?
Now that's debatable. I think it all comes down to if Hogan's still in the mix. I don't know.
It is funny that they couldn't get Hogan for the doc, but Bischoff is kind of like the sounding board for Hogan. Obviously, longtime friend, longtime buddy. Owned Hulkamania at one point when Hulk was going through his divorce. So obviously, he's a trusted ally of the Hulkster. He's kind of like the official, I guess, spokesman, if you will, of Hogan. He doesn't really obviously going to say anything bad about Hulk, but people, and even on the doc, didn't mention it. What about the rise of WCW? There wouldn't have been a rise of WCW without Hogan. So
Right.
People were ripping Bischoff like, oh, he's up Hogan's ass too much, but I don't know if you're going to make any money without Hogan. Hell, WWF almost went out of business because WCW was killing it with Hogan.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't. Yeah, nobody knows unless you were there what was going on and how the situation really was. So Eric did the best he could.
This is a good question here from Ibsen. Thoughts on the new Hulk Hogan Real American beer that came out this week?
I know nothing about this American beer that came out. Is it good beer?
I don't know. It's only in Florida and Minnesota right now, but they're saying that it's going to be added to Colorado and Missouri in the next few weeks, and then 13 more states this summer.
Well, maybe Tennessee will get some. I'll try it.
I hope New Jersey.
I've yet to try the Stone Cold beer.
Ooh, I like the American Lager. I think it's great. I love it. I really like it. This Real American beer, they're saying it tastes more like it's a lager, but it's like a light beer, so it's going to taste more like a Miller Lite, I guess. But I want to try it. I want to try it. I love the can. The can is the WrestleMania 7 poster of Hogan holding the flag, the USA flag. Excuse me. And then they have the Real American beer. It's just really, really cool logo. So I want the can, but I also want to drink it as well. I think it's awesome.
Cool. Does it come in bottles too?
Yeah. I believe I don't know about yet, but I think I read that it was going to be coming out in bottles and cans.
Oh, cool! I have to try it when it comes out.
I think that Ibsen's going to send me a picture of Hogan holding a can, so I will wait and I will put that up. But I just think that what a great idea!
What,
from the
making beer?
Hulkster? Yeah, you know what I mean. Like Real American beer, it's simple, it's easy. Austin too, just great idea making the beer.
I guess everybody's into their own tequila these days too.
Yeah, Rock has the Terramina. I think if call me crazy, but I think the Bella twins have their own wine.
Probably. That sounds about right.
Gotta love the Bella twins. A lot of people are venturing into the alcohol business. There we go. If you could see Hulk in the middle there, holding
Sure.
this,
Real American beer.
with the WrestleMania 7 logo. Yeah, pretty damn cool. Thank you, Ibsen. Love that.
Well, there you go.
Actually, Hogan's got the shirt on too. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, the T-shirt would be cool.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, it's awesome. They sell all sorts of merchandise. It's therealamerican.com. They have all sorts of beach towels and koozies. Some pretty good stuff on there.
No kidding. Well, that's cool.
Matthew Rodriguez. Hey, Dr. Tom, I have a crazy idea and I want your thoughts. Uncle Howdy has a glove that says Bray. What if Howdy put that glove on and he hears Bray give him orders from heaven or spiritually? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's kind of that would be kind of cool if it happened.
Oh, you like it? Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't
think
think you were into the spirituality and stuff and all that stuff.
Why?
Because would you have liked it in the wrestling business? I just figured you were old school and traditional.
A lot of people judge me for what I'm not. I
Yes.
just want to be judged for what I am, or something like that. Hell, I don't know.
I almost sound like Macho Man for a second. I am what I am. Oh yeah.
Well, I am what I am.
Did you see Uncle Howdy's return? Did you like that? The Wyatt Six, they're called.
Yes, I did like it. SICKS.
Yes.
I like it. Yeah.
They destroyed everybody. It looked like they murdered Chad Gable. It was like a lot of stuff was going on back there. There was a lot of
It
blood.
reminded me of the Hangover. Hangover 2.
Yeah, yeah.
The smoke and everything. Yeah, they created all kind of havoc.
Very interesting. I wonder where they go from here. They're just like decimating the entire roster there.
Well, don't get in their way.
Yep, true. I guess it's Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, obviously Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas, who's Bray Wyatt's brother, and Nikki Cross as well.
Yeah. I think it's a cool faction.
Do you like the mask, the Uncle Howdy mask?
I do like that Uncle Howdy mask.
You do. It was funny. I was like, not kind of digging it, not really liking it. And I was at a house show last year, and I said, "Oh my God, they sell these damn masks! This is crazy." Turned around 2 seconds later, they're all gone. I'm like, well, I'm an idiot. I spoke too soon.
Yeah,
It's like
there you
people
go.
like them. Yeah, people like them.
Yeah.
And he actually even changed it. He made it even a little bit tighter to his face, and he shows more of his face now. So I'm sure they'll have a new mask.
Well, possibly. I mean, they do want to sell merchandise, and
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
I guess there's two trains of thought though with this return with Uncle Howdy. So these are Bray Wyatt's gimmicks. These are his characters. Bray passed away. Do you think it's okay that they use his gimmicks? I know it's his brother, so obviously he's kind of got carte blanche, but do you think it's okay to use his gimmicks even though he passed?
I think it's okay the way they're doing this thing because if you knew Bray Wyatt, if you knew Wyndham Rotundo, you knew he's digging it from beyond. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's
R-
okay.
Rooting for his brother, if you
Yeah,
will. Sure.
sure.
I was reading online, so people were complaining that WWE was using this to make money and using this for
What? They're
merchandising.
doing that for money?
Yep.
Oh, you mean it's a profit thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Well, no
didn't
doubt.
they didn't like the fact that they were using Bray Wyatt for profit, but then somebody brought up, hey, Owen Hart was never in AEW and they're doing this Owen Hart Cup thing and the guy's like, no, it's different. This totally different. It's just obviously it's the same exact thing, but
Right. People are gonna. What I've noticed is, and this isn't just with Triple H in charge. This is with anybody. They love you for a while, but then all of a sudden they get tired of you real fast, and you're always going to have your critics. So
yep.
you got to go for it. And I think the Wyatt Six is going to be fine. It's going to be great.
Even like we mentioned Russo before, he was beloved from 97 to 99. Then after that, they
Yeah,
hated him.
yeah. So you can't please everybody all the time.
So you're okay with them selling Bray Wyatt merchandise as well. I know his family, by the way, in case people don't know this, family does get a percentage
Yeah,
of all the
exactly.
merch.
He's got little kids. Got a bunch of little kids. So
I
yeah, I'm cool with that.
I actually think that obviously his wife and his kids are probably happy because their uncle is on TV, keeping the gimmick alive. But not only that, he's going to be selling the merch and keeping that alive as well.
Sure. Exactly.
This is a great question here. Who will win in a boxing match, you or Mark Merrow? Mark is a Golden Glove boxing champion.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try against Mark Merrill.
He'd kill you?
Yeah, he'd kill me.
Oh, I don't know why. I guess maybe because of his look that he's kind of underestimated, but it's weird. He's
We
legit.
went to the gym one time. I was riding with Mark. And I forget how we hooked up because it might have been having to do with something with Sable doing a appearance, and I had to be there too. For some reason, this is when I was already training people. But I went to the gym with Mark one time, and a guy recognized him from boxing at this gym, and he said something, and Merrill let it slide. But then he got in the locker room there. The guy says, "I don't know who the hell you think you." Mark told this guy, "So I don't know who the hell you think you are, but you couldn't lace my boots. I'd knock you out in the first round." And Mark was a little hot about it, and rightfully so. So I don't think because Mark is a Golden Glove boxing champion. So I've never boxed in my life.
Did he end up knocking that guy out?
No, the guy backed off. He
Oh,
apologized.
okay. Figured.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, I recently saw a match between you and Moondog Moretti. The announcer said you were a martial arts black belt. Any truth to this? From Craig at
Yes, I
CNN.
got my black belt when I was 18. I started teaching karate when I was 18, and I started wrestling when I was 20.
Did you tell the announcer to say that?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Before when we go somewhere, you had to send like a bio and stuff on there. And in the old days, the announcers would read stuff off the bio and find out about it so they had something to talk about. Those days are now gone.
Yeah. I remember always listening to JR, and he would talk to the guy. He goes, I want to know your football background. You know what I mean? Like, and then he'd get the guy's background and get the info if he couldn't find and look it up. So then he'd ask Austin, where should I say you're from? And like, all this stuff, like it's just interesting stuff. Hey, what do you call this move? So I like when the announcers do their homework. I love that this guy was doing his homework, I guess, out there in Portland.
Must have been Portland. Yeah. That would have been Don Koss or Stan Stasiak.
Oh, Stan the Man.
Or maybe
Top.
even, oh, Eagles. Gosh, what was the guy's name who had Johnny Eagles? Had a big eagle tattoo across his chest and he called himself Johnny Eagles.
I'm trying to remember, though, Moondog Ed Moretti. Is that Shayna Wayne? Is that her dad? I think it is.
Who?
The woman in AEW with Christian, Buddy Wayne, his wife or widow, if you will.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Oddly enough, she is a character in AEW, and her son Nick Wayne is a character in AEW. But it's just so funny that like the wife of an ex wrestler whose dad was a wrestler is now a character, even though she's never been a character before on AEW when she's with Christian.
Well, it's a crazy business, John.
What do you think about Ed Moondog Moretti? Did you like him? Did you like working with him?
Yeah, like good worker, easy to work with.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Bruce also a black belt in karate.
Yeah,
Who is more dangerous, you or Bruce?
I think you're dangerous.
Whoa.
I think you're probably the most dangerous out of that crew.
Not a black belt in karate though, like you and
You don't have to
Bruce.
be a black belt in karate to be dangerous.
Yeah, true. But I do think that Bruce might have paid off the professor, if you will, the sensei. I feel like
The
he.
sensei, I was going to say, it's not a
Yeah,
professor. It's a
yeah.
sensei. Yeah. No, this
I'm
guy
thinking.
wouldn't take. This guy wouldn't take any money. I know the
I'm
guy.
thinking of jujitsu, the professor there. But yeah, obviously
Horseshit.
the karate here,
Mm.
you have your sensei. I have a feeling Bruce paid him off. That's just what I'm saying. Just what I
Well,
thought.
you have your right to feel that way. I don't know what to tell you.
Uh-oh, Bo is back. Tom only drinks hard lemonade. Is that true? Mike's hard lemonade?
No, that's not true. That's false. That's
Is
how
Bo
vicious
Ja-
rumors are.
is Bo James still an active wrestler? Do you know?
Yes.
Oh, he is. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. He usually posts some pretty good pictures on Instagram, the King Sport. I know that.
Well,
Paul Big Ron Shaw says Ron Garvin was the original one-man gang. I love that nickname.
okay.
And I just always love that nickname. I saw a couple of years ago footage of Ronnie Garvin versus Andre the Giant.
I've seen that
Ronnie,
match. I've seen the Ray
Ronnie,
stomping the hell out of him.
yeah, Ronnie put a beating on him. I was shocked.
Well, Andre liked Ronnie, so
Yeah.
there's not too many people he do that for.
Phil, hey, John, Dr. Tom, just tuning in at a ball game, multitasking. Happy Wednesday. Whoa,
We're
what
being
ball
watched at
game?
a ball
Yeah,
game, huh?
yeah,
Hmm.
what game?
Yeah.
Nice. I
What
love it.
game, Phil?
Phil, let us know. Mitch is back. I will admit, I've been a WWE guy, but was one of those channel flippers during Raw and Nitro. Most of the time, stayed on Nitro during the NWO days. What do you think about that? Mitch is admitting this that he's
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, the NWO was interesting. There was a lot of cool stuff going on, and it was different than what WWE had. So I can
for
see that.
sure.
Yeah.
I would tape some of the shows a lot of the time instead of flipping back. You just watch one and then later watch the other. But man, when WCW got hot for a while, I'd flip only a little bit, and then man, I was really focused in on the NWO, just like Mitch. I was more of a Nitro guy. I felt like more unpredictable. They were always live. Never knew what was going to happen. Sting is going to pop out of the ceiling. I mean, just awesome stuff during the NWO days of WCW Nitro.
Yeah. Well, it was hot, and that's why they beat WWF for 80. What is it? 83 days.
No, 83 weeks.
83 weeks. Days, weeks.
And it was actually basically over like 117 weeks. They won 104, 105. So they won 2 years in a row, essentially. I mean, it was just like insane how many they absolutely just dominated them. It's crazy. You had to think of that with Vince, like, and they couldn't do anything about it. Pretty nuts. But then,
Yeah.
kind of just steal their formula a little bit and obviously Steve Austin gets hot and the wrestling has changed forever.
Yeah. Yeah. So you never know what's going to happen.
Uh-oh. What is he getting at here? Bo James says, my family has been making their own spirits for hundreds of years in the hills. What's he talking about here, Bo
I'm
James?
not quite sure. I think he's drunk.
Is he referring to maybe moonshine? That his family's been making moonshine for hundreds of years.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Do you think that he would have been one of the Moondogs back in the 80s if he in the 70s and stuff
Yeah, he
if
could
he
have been a moondog.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
get that feeling for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
Bill Belichick, ATF says Bill Belichick is apparently dating a 26-year-old former cheerleader. Do you think she loves him for his amazing 72-year-old body or his wonderful outgoing personality? Ooh, which one?
I certainly think it's a combination of both because Belichick is a specimen for everyone to admire and look at and adhere to. And of course, his personality is one that you sure want to make. You want to make sure you bring him to all the birthday parties and anniversaries you can because he will lift up a room.
You know what's interesting though? ATF did not mention the wallet or the bank account. That was the first thing that would have
No, no,
stuck
no,
in my
no. She
mind.
doesn't want to. Why would a 26-year-old former cheerleader want a 17-year-old guy for his wallet? I mean, no, no. I think it's pure love and admiration and
He
attraction.
actually, if you actually catch him when he's interested, his personality is great. They had him in this football summit where he was in like a group of like with his own peers and a couple players that he respected. Man, he was great. Like he was like laughing and like really. I mean, he's talking about Ed Reed. He loves Ed Reed. He loves Lawrence Taylor. He's talking about the guys he really enjoys. When you get him in that kind of atmosphere, he's great. But otherwise, like if you're interviewing him and stuff, he's terrible.
Yeah. Well, I can understand why. Guy's been around for a while now. Everybody's asking him stupid questions. He's got to answer the same stupid questions over and over.
Did you see when the ring camera? Did you see that video of catching him?
The what camera?
Like the ring camera on your doorbell, the doorbell camera,
Caught Bill Belichick?
leaving the young girl's house. Yeah, at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So you know what was
Now, why
going
would
on
they
with,
do that? Who released that?
I guess she did. I
Yeah,
guess
that's what I
weird.
mean. You know,
Yeah.
26 years old. I mean, yeah. Shoot. What in the world could a 26-year-old do with money?
A
No, she
lot.
loves him because he's got a great personality and he looks great in a pair of cut off hoodies.
Yes, I love those. Those
Yeah,
are great.
yeah, it looks
Mitch
great.
says the Uncle Howdy mask sort of reminds me of the Undertaker facial mask. Yes, remember when Taker got his face broken, then he had to wear that like little mask. That's kind of what the new Howdy mask looks like.
Yeah,
Mitch is right.
yeah,
I like it.
yeah. I like it too.
I don't know where this is going and who they're going to be feuding with, but I like it. I just hope that this doesn't mean that Chad Gable's out for any extended period of time because, quite frankly, he might be their best act right now. He's awesome.
We'll have to wait and see.
Are you a Chad Gable fan?
Once again, does the Pope shit in the woods? Is the bear Catholic?
Nice. He's great. Kind of like
Yeah,
a young Kurt Angle,
yeah. Like a
Mr.
young
Master
Kurt
Gable
Angle.
there.
Yeah,
Yep. Glad Dexter Loomis has a role in this. He has presence, says Phil. Do you like Dexter Loomis?
I do like Dexter Loomis. What's his name? What was his
Sam
other
Shaw?
name? Sam Shaw. That was when I first met him. It's Sam Shaw. But I like him. Yeah, I do.
He's in unbelievable shape. Like there's like no body fat on him. He got really ripped. He got
Yeah,
really great shape.
yeah.
Wonder where they
So,
go. Wonder where they go from here. Just we'll have to wait and see. I'm just very intrigued by it
well,
all.
they already knocked out a few people.
Yep.
You know, it looked like the Hangover.
Yep. Like that.
Yeah.
Joe Duanez says Hogan is an old ball sack. Wow.
Well,
You,
we all get old, Joe, or at least some of us do.
hey, um, Hogan, remember the old Jim Cornette line? Hey, Hogan is a household name. Do you remember that awesome line that he said?
So is garbage.
And it gets old.
Yeah,
It gets old too when it stinks. Yep.
yeah.
Great line. I don't know if I agree about Hogan, but great line by Jimmy. Barbara, hello, Dr. Tom. So good to see you. Hope you're doing well and having a great week,
Barbara,
Barbara.
we're doing great. I'm doing great. Having a great week.
What was the loudest pop you ever heard in the ring as a wrestler? Was it an entrance, the finish of a match you win, a run in during the match? Who was involved that made the crowd scream?
I think the Undertaker's entrance is the loudest pop I've ever heard, and it was WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden when he worked with Kane. Uh, I I wanted to go out and I watched the entrance from the floor of the garden. I mean that was kind of cool. So I think Taker's entrance by far biggest pop I've ever heard, loudest pop.
Your brother was talking about some loud pops. He mentioned The Rock, Cena a few times. He said Undertaker for sure. The best, biggest, he was definitely saying Austin's got to be up there, but he said Hulk Hogan, which I totally agree with. I've been at some shows where Hogan's pop was immense. So I actually had a show once with a former buddy of mine, and his uncle was there with us. A little bit of an older guy, not too old, but Hogan came out, made his return. It was at Madison Square Garden. He said he couldn't hear his because like the pop was like deafening. He said he literally went deaf for like a minute. I was like, oh my god, jeez. Don't want to have
Yeah,
that effect on, but yeah, it was what a pop. Oof, amazing.
yeah, that's amazing.
I've been at some shows with LOD getting big pop, but all I gotta say, Austin and probably Hogan though are the loudest.
Yeah, no doubt. Heard some loud Hogan and Austin pops too, but the one that comes right to mind is Taker and Kane.
Yeah, I wish I was at that Mania. Damn. Um, Undertaker at Mania this year was quite loud,
Yep.
insanely loud actually, for especially for a stadium.
Mm.
Who we got here? Magazine Retriever. Mickey James says she's not retired. She's just busy working on her wrestling rock musical, The Last Match. That sounds interesting. What do you think about The Last Match?
Well, what is it?
It's a rock and wrestling musical. I actually was invited by the producer, and I went last year in Jersey City. I was surprised. It was actually pretty good. The music was actually pretty good.
Yeah. So what is
Bill
it? A
James.
musical? The last match? She plays
So it's
music.
basically there's a ring set up. There's a band playing music. There's announcers that talk to you the whole time. There's kind of I guess you could say a narrator that talks to you the whole time. But it's basically a guy and a girl kind of going through their career. He might be winding it down. He was the top guy. Now this new guy came in who actually was played by Matt Cardona. He's like the new heel that thinks he's like the new man. He's trying to steal her girl. He's trying to steal his spot. It's interesting. Alpha Junior was in it. Bull James was in it. So interesting. But they do have like kind of like a match for a minute, and then they'll go to the singing or the music or the promos. It's interesting. Very interesting. Would like look at pro wrestling.
Well, good. I hope Mickey does well with it.
There was I don't know who it is now, but when I saw it, her name was Amber Ardolino. Played the lead woman. Whew.
Hmm.
Quite a spectacle. She's on Broadway now all the time, but she did great. Matt Cardona, I was shocked. He actually did really good, and then like sang. He said he never sang before. He was singing.
Now, was this on Broadway?
It was off Broadway, and I know it was in Jersey City for a while. And they just did a tour of the 2300 Arena in Philly, and a few places in Rochester, New York, and I think Nashville, maybe. So it went on tour and it did off Broadway, but it was never on Broadway.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that might sound cool to see.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, this is a different take on wrestling. I kind of enjoyed it.
Cool.
Steve Blackman has 4 different black belts, he said in a shoot interview. Do you believe Steve Blackman?
Sure. Yeah. I got like 3 black belts hanging in my closet.
Dale wants to know, did your parents support your decision to become a pro wrestler?
They did once I did it, but growing up, they weren't very supportive at all.
Robert Rodkey. Hey, Dr.
Hey,
Tom.
Robert.
Bruce is a ninja.
This is true. You went to Korea for 5 years. Learn how to be a ninja.
Both throwing in there, Ron Garvin was not the original one-man gang. He took the name from an old-timer in Canada when he broke in.
I thought that was, oh my God. Okay.
And obviously, one-man gang was a great gimmick for Akeem as well. By the way, one-man gang. Love that gimmick.
Of course.
Ibsen. Mike McGurk was the first WWE female announcer yet. Did Corny have a female announcer in his territory? What did he think of a woman ring announcer then or now? What do you
I'm
think?
trying to think if he did or didn't. I don't remember. I remember he had a guy ring announcer, but I don't remember if he had a lady ring announcer or not.
Speaking of black belts, this is from Scorch. Speaking of black belts in karate, I like when Eric Bischoff put on the karate uniform and pretended to be tough.
Yeah, sometimes that uniform will make you tough, or at least make you feel like you're tough.
No doubt. I think, wasn't he a black belt in karate, or didn't he do karate?
Yeah, I
Bischoff?
think he did.
Nice. Like to see him versus Bruce one-on-one.
Hmm.
From Phil, it's the War, I guess it's Worcester Bravehearts Collegiate League. One former player just started with the Yankees and had his first hit. Ben Rice, I believe, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Worcester. Oddly enough, your brother Bruce at Worcester had some of the best fans. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. I
Have
don't
you ever been
know.
to the Worcester Centrum out there in
I
Worcester,
think
Mass?
so. I think so, but it's been a long time. So
He was, I don't know why he was saying, like, when you think of like big crowds, you think, oh, Boston Garden or something, but he was saying Worcester Centrum. I was like, wow, interesting.
well,
Obviously,
you've
Bruce
been
would know, but yeah.
yeah, he's been there a lot more than I have.
Phil says, yes, I'm correct. Ben Rice, first hit. Worcester does have great fans.
Good.
Serious question. Did Cornette always want to be a manager? Did he ever want to be a backstage agent, wrestler, commentator instead, or was he always into managing?
I believe Jimmy was always into managing. I don't think he really wanted to wrestle. He was taking pictures, and then Jerry Jarrett asked him if he'd like to try and be a manager, and I think that was right up Jim's alley. He got to also wrestle when he had teams and things like that, being a 6-man tag team or a special tag team. So he wound up doing a lot of things.
I really like Loomis, says Roberts. Another person who really likes Dexter Loomis. Barbara says there was a Road Warrior pop, and Dr. Tom always got a huge pop every gimmick he had. Do you agree?
Not really, but thanks, Barbara.
I love the sentiment, though, there. Matthew, Tom, do you remember Kane doing a tombstone on Lyndon McMahon in WWE in 2003? Also, Kane setting JR on fire in 2003. Do you
Yes,
remember
I
this?
do. Yes, I do. He's repented and he said he's done his penance. He lived on a mountain in Switzerland for 6 months, and he contemplated his deeds. And he came back, and he feels horrible about him, but he has repented. He's talked about it many times.
Nice. Thank God. Ragu Overlord. Ernest the Cat Miller was Eric Bischoff's karate instructor. Yes. Good little tidbit. Ragu's always got good tidbits. Yes. Not a bad karate instructor to have, by the way.
No, Cat was good.
If a trainer follows things, shouldn't a movie trailer come out after? Excuse me, a trailer follows things. Shouldn't a movie trailer come out after the movie? What do you
I
think
would
about that?
agree. I would agree with that, ATF. I don't know why. I don't know why they do it the other way around, but I would agree with you.
Kind of never even thought about it before. That makes sense.
Perfect sense.
Please ask Dr. Tom if students attend his wrestling school to be announcers or managers as well. Thank you.
We don't do announcers or managers or referees. It's just too much. Most announcers, most referees, most managers are friends of the guys who run the promotion or friends of the guys working for the promotion. They usually come with them, and they ask the guy, "Hey, can he go to the ring with me?" or "Hey, can you referee?" or something like that. So we don't. I don't have time to spend with a referee who may or may not ever get a chance to work. Same thing with a manager or an announcer. It's a networking business. So I want to be straight with everybody up front. If you're coming to train to learn how to get in the ring and take bumps, we can show you that, and then there's a better chance that you get to do that uh, rather than commentate or ring announce or referee or manage. So
Interesting question here from Ibsen. At the school, does Kane mention Donald Trump to you at all? If he does, what would your reaction be?
no, he doesn't mention Donald Trump, and I wouldn't have a reaction to Kane doing it because we don't talk politics.
Come on, Ibsen, you know that politics and wrestling don't mix, right?
That's right.
Brendan, good evening, gentlemen. Hello, Brendan. Dr. Tom, did you, by the way, read? I know you didn't see, but did you read the results for the WWE Clash at the Castle?
I did.
What do you think about that? Drew losing in Scotland.
Well, where else would he lose at? That was where the castle, Clash of the Castle was.
Glasgow, Scotland. Yeah, the
Yeah.
OVO Hydro, if you
Where
will.
else could he lose if it was?
Oh, but I just thought that he would win, didn't you? This is his hometown, home country.
Not necessarily. Um, would have been nice if he won, I guess, but they're also nice that they kept the angle with him and Punk going.
Were
No,
you
down the
were you
road.
shocked at all that Punk did that?
Not really.
No, okay.
Not
I
really.
just didn't think he'd be on the show because I didn't think they'd fly him all the way out there for that. But that was great that they did that.
Yeah. So they had to. Well, obviously knew they were going to do something with him.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that they found a way to prolong it.
And I know you didn't see it, but the camera angle was great because they had it the ring from the side. So McIntyre had Priest pin 1, 2, 3, but there's no ref. The ref already got knocked out. So you see a ref slide into the ring, but you can only really see his back and maybe a zoomed in shot at like the top of his head. So you kind of don't notice it's Punk. So he goes 1, 2, and then he doesn't count, and then he just stands there, and then the camera from the other side behind Drew, you see, and it's Punk going like this. So I was like, wow, that was actually good camera work there, because sometimes you do that and the guy's already in the ring and you ready, the surprise is ruined for the live audience, really, watching on the screen. So I was like, wow, that was actually well done. But Damian Priest got the win thanks to CM Punk.
Well, occasionally they do things pretty good.
Yeah. There was a little bit of a botch with Priest in that match. Almost broke his leg. I don't know if you saw that.
No, but I did hear about it.
Scary. Actually, wasn't hurt at all. I was shocked about that. He was fine.
Well, that's good.
Drew quit the next night, though. What are your feelings?
Well, it's a shame he quit when he just signed a contract.
Hey, Punk screwed him. They let it happen. He quit.
Yeah,
Nothing more.
it's a shame.
Brendan, I hope Drew and Punk match at SummerSlam will be great. What do you think about that?
I think it will be great. They're both pros.
Ibsen saying, what 3 classic matches are going to be shown to your students that will be beneficial for them?
Terry Funk versus Harley Race and O'Connor versus Rogers. There's
Nice.
2 matches with Harley and Terry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Barbara says she believes Damian Priest got injured during the match. What happens when a wrestler gets injured?
They stopped the match. Had the doctor come down and take care of him.
Shockingly, he was okay. And obviously the match continued. He was limping a little bit, but it was funny. He was limping on the other leg. So I guess he was fine. Then they said when he got to the back, he had no issues, no structural damage, nothing. So he's fine, and he'll be wrestling Seth Rollins on the next pay-per-view Money in the Bank.
Good.
Mitch is calling it the Scotland Screwjob.
Well, sometimes just because you want it to be one way doesn't mean it's gonna happen that way.
Where is it here? ATF, do you remember when medical, quote unquote, crews came to the ring for an injured wrestler? Is it proper medical procedure just to roll that wrestler out of the ring and onto the stretcher?
Well, I don't know what proper medical procedure is and isn't, but you do want to get the guy out of there as quickly as possible without hurting him. I know that.
Mitch is saying, throw the X up, right? It's like the
Yeah,
refs do, throw that X up.
yeah.
Magazine, the biographical movie about Hulk Hogan starring Chris Hemsworth continues to be in developmental hell. I would really like to see a movie about the Hulkster. Yeah, did you see this? It was supposed to be getting made and then they kind of scrapped it.
No, I haven't. I've heard nothing about this, so I don't know.
Snafu Crew, Strike Team. Interesting interview. Thank you. And then he throws out there, I questioned Ryback about Chris Benoit's sacrifice optics.
Explain that
Ryback.
to me.
I
Yeah.
have no idea. I guess Chris Benoit might be a little bit more of a conspiracy theory than some of us think.
Hmm.
You have worked with some of the best talent there is. Is anyone in today's wrestling world you would want to work with?
Not anybody in particular. No, there's a lot of guys out there that have talent, but anybody I could work with would be great.
What about Cody Rhodes?
What about Cody Rhodes?
Would you like to work Cody?
Well, I think Cody and the Freebird Michael Hayes probably have a relationship and have that wavelength going on. But Cody would be fun to work with. I agree.
Cody defeated AJ Styles in an I Quit match to retain his WWE Undisputed Championship. That was a hell of a match. Another awesome match. And they did some interesting stuff in the match that, just to kind of change it up that you haven't seen in like an I Quit match before. So I thought it was good. Very good. Good job by Cody.
Cody's turning out to be a great champion. He's turning out to be a great opponent for these guys.
Man, when he's in AEW, I was like, okay, he can pretty much have a good match with anybody. And, you kind of just like seeing that. But, man, WWE's on fire. He hasn't had like any bad match, not even a semblance of a bad match. I've even seen his house show matches, and they were like balls to the wall. Like he was going all out. I mean, so I think I've seen three house show matches of his, and he goes all out. I mean, he's been great.
Well, he's got a great work ethic. That's what they require the champions in WWE.
Here's a great question from Del Mountain. Did you ever work with the original La Parka or the younger La Parka?
No, I never did. I met both of them in MLW, but I never worked with them.
Your brother wants to do a PLE in Mexico because he knows the crowd would be loud. Where would you go if you could decide yourself? Where would you want that PLE to be? Premium live event.
Where would I want it to be? Hawaii.
Oh, the best crowd, according to Bruce, was France with Backlash, which was awesome. But I got to be honest, that Scotland crowd, I think it was 11,391 sold out, whatever. That might have been one of the loudest crowds because they were doing that decibel meter thing, and it was going over 100. So it was pretty damn loud.
It was good.
Getting some good crowds internationally, kind of putting the American fans to shame a little bit, to be honest.
Well, then American fans know what they have to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed here, Jay. They got to go nuts. We're getting spoiled here. Don't let us get spoiled. Craig says you should treat your students to Dynamite Kid matches, especially the smaller guys.
We actually did watch some Dynamite Kid matches, and Dynamite was so intense, it's hard to duplicate that.
Dynamite, I feel like one of the best. I was talking to a guy up there in Calgary, and he said that Dynamite was the best. So, kind of high praise.
A lot of people feel that way.
Very high praise, but I tend to agree. Even though Brutus Beefcake does not, but that's a different story for a different day. Barbara, I remember when Candice Michelle broke her collarbone during a match. Beth looked confused and pinned her, and they brought the medics out. Ouch! Do you remember that at all? Ouch.
Vaguely. but I broke my collarbone twice, and that does hurt.
Did
That's the
you
most pain I've ever
did
been
you
in.
do it in the ring?
No, I did it playing football and I did it wrestling a guy at the gym in Houston.
Ah,
6 weeks after I just got out of the brace, and he pulled my arm and snapped it again. So I was in it for another 6 weeks.
did you ever have Mr. Fuji pull a rib on you?
No,
Have you ever seen a Fuji rib?
no. I can honestly say I've never witnessed Fuji ribbon.
Aloha, Bama. I would like to see a movie about Tank Abbott or Tommy Morrison. What do you think about that?
That'd be interesting. Tank Abbott
I'll
or Tommy Morrison.
I'll take either one. I like it.
Yeah.
Ragu, I don't think that movie will ever get made. Chris Hemsworth has early onset dementia, apparently. Early stage dementia.
Wasn't he Thor?
I believe that right. Is that the right one? Yeah, I think
Chris
so. And
Hemsworth?
he was getting all jacked to play Hogan, and then all of a sudden the movie got scrapped.
But I didn't think Chris was that old, is he?
No, it's weird. A lot of these younger actors, they're saying they're getting early dementia. Very strange. And then even the older actors, like Bruce Willis, are saying has like full on dementia now.
Well, I can understand that part, but Chris Hemsworth I thought was younger than
Yeah,
that.
super young. I think he's barely 40 if he is.
Hmm.
Crazy. Do wrestlers always get along, or do they realize they can draw money with each other and put personal feelings to the side?
No, wrestlers don't always get along, and sometimes it's pettiness and just not wanting to cooperate.
What was the longest road trip you've ever had in WWE?
God, I went to Israel. I mean, a road trip. You're talking about driving. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, we drove all up and down the East Coast and all over the place.
Saw an interview with Undertaker. This is from Brandon. He said he thinks Cody will have a better heel run. What do you think about that? Heel or babyface?
When the time is right, he could be a good heel, but he's a great babyface right now. But when the time is right, the hotter you are as a babyface, the hotter you're going to be as a heel.
Mitch will be at the Toronto Money in the Bank event. What do you think about that? I love it.
That's tremendous.
I feel like the PLEs have been pretty damn good. They've been 3 hours almost exactly, which I love. Like sometimes they used to go so long. It's like, come on. Sometimes it's just too long. But 3 hours, I feel like been great. But only 5 matches, so each match is long. Like the Cody match was a half hour. Priest match is over 20 minutes. Zayn match is over 20 minutes. So all the matches are long. All the guys do get more time. Do you like that, or you think you should go shorter matches but have more matches?
No, I like the longer matches as long as they can stay interesting. I have no problem giving the guys 20 minutes, but just tell a good story.
What was the longest time away from home on a tour?
Oh, I went to I don't know 3 weeks, something like that.
Sputnik Monroe needs a movie to be made.
I agree with that. Sputnik made marks in this business.
How was the big cat Ernie Ladd towards you?
Ernie was great. Talked to Ernie a few times. Just general bullshit.
Michael, a lot of the guys are jealous. I am
Of
sure.
what? Oh yeah. They
Like
are. Yeah,
of
just
their
jealous.
of their spots, yeah. He's also
Envy.
he's also saying, do you think CM Punk McIntyre is good or is it too predictable?
Well, we don't know what they're going to do yet. So I think it's good right now.
Very good so far. Yeah, they've just been kind of screwing each other back and forth. He injured him, so I don't know. For the most part, I kind of like it. And obviously, SummerSlam is going to be pretty big, pretty good. And
Yeah.
obviously, that'll be Punk's return match, which is good as well.
Yep. Can't wait.
But let's hear about your book, Dr. I'm working everybody get the book, and even if they want an
Uh,
autograph copy.
all right. You can get the book. You can go to jpwrestlingacademy.com, click on the training section. book will come up and you can order it from there. If you want an autographed copy, just email me at jpwrestlingacademy@gmail.com and tell me you want an autographed copy.
Follow Dr. Tom on Twitter at Dr. Tom Prichard. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 2Man Power Trip. Dr. Tom, what else do you got going on in this crazy world?
Absolutely nothing. We got graduation going on this Saturday. That's about it. Then we're taking a week off and starting our summer course. So it's just been hotter than hell here, and that's it.
Your book, a must-have for any future champion. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening. Thank you, Dr. Tom. We'll see everybody right back here next week. Have a good one, folks.